Hello, beautiful world, and welcome to the Fashion and Beauty Show. My name is Anne Mina, and I am your host. This show, we talk about all things fashion and beauty from the perspective of the everyday woman, and we are here to explore, educate, and engage you to define what fashion and beauty means in your world. You know, when we don't know we don't know where we are without looking back to where we came from. And that's going to be our topic for today. We're going to be talking about trends of the 2000s and 2010s and so. And for the audience out there, it's mostly about look back, go down, take a trip through memory lane, and find the pictures of yourself. See if you followed some of the trends we'll be talking about. And before we start, though, I want to introduce my lovely guest here.
Hello.
This is Leanna. We met when we actually went to school, and I'm not going to spiel too much about who she is and what she's about, but I'll give you the mic to talk about it.
For sure. So, hello everyone. My name is Leanna. I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a twin island country in the Caribbean. I moved to Canada in 2012, and Anne and I met at the University of Alberta, and I will be graduating from the U of A this June in the Fashion Business Management program.
And why actually did you decide on the fashion business management program?
So for me, I always wanted a hybrid between pursuing the creative side of me as well as the business side. So with that program, it was a beautiful hybrid of the two. And yeah, that's more or less the reason why. And fashion has always been a huge part of my life. And I believe that fashion is way more than just the clothing that we wear. It's also about a way of expressing ourselves and making people feel like the best version of themselves.
Yes, and I love that I'm having you here on the show because I know I had a lot of fun going through my photos and picking out the pictures that help exemplify some of the trends that we're talking about. And the first trend we're actually going to talk about are cardigans. Cardigans, here's a bit of a tidbit facts about cardigans. Credited with popularizing cardigans for women in the 1920s, it's said that French fashion designer Gabrielle Coco Chanel preferred a button-down sweater because she didn't like the way traditional pullovers messed over with her hair when she put them on. So inspired by the legendary designer's early work, cardigans and knitted jackets are still seen on Chanel runways and in boutiques today. I can relate to the idea of not wanting, my hair to be messed around
For
with
sure,
with
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
with sweaters, pullover sweaters. So cardigans are definitely good for that. One thing that, like, for me, cardigans are, like, you can style them up or you can style them down. They can be a fashion statement,
For
all on their
Yeah.
own. I've worn outfits where it's like all black and then the cardigan is
then
the
the cardigan,
signature.
correct.
Yes. And I've also worn them, like, one of my pictures is me in a silver cardigan and red shirt and black pants. So it's very simple. And it was more of a casual look. So that's for me. But what's your take on cardigans?
So for me, cardigans are definitely one of those things where it's like you just throw it on and it makes it feel very cozy, casual, and comfortable. And for my photo, it was a photo shoot that I did with a friend of mine. She was in a design program and she just needed some samples for a photography assignment. And so I just kind of threw the cardigan on as just kind of like a last minute thought, just, to make everything just feel like comfortable and cozy. And it's just really like a nice like relaxed feeling when you wear one because it definitely can like dress an outfit down if you're going for more of like an easy everyday going look. So
Awesome.
yeah. And now we are segueing into the jumpsuits. And so they originally started in the 1930s by fashion designer Elsa Schiaparelli. And she began designing them for elegant women. And she talked about how the fact that they kind of want to transition away from sporty styles, as well as the fact that the only other time that women were wearing jumpsuits were in the military, and an example of that would have been the infamous Rosie the Riveter. And then transitioning into 2010, it turned into more of a more like formal attire, and definitely through the use of like using more like fun patterns and florals, it can definitely be something that is dressed up rather than just being something casual. And so in my photo that we're going to use as an example, I wore that on my 22nd birthday, and we went to a really nice dinner, and as you can see, it's like very much like dressed up, the glitz, the glam, like you can definitely wear it however you'd like. And the other really nice thing about jumpsuits is that you can always dress them up or dress them down. So yeah.
And about dressing them up and dressing them down, for me, I feel like the jumpsuit, it's all about the fit. It needs to fit in all the right places as a woman with the curves,
Sure.
right? And even like for my jumpsuit, it was you don't see it too well. I just remember it's a black jumpsuit. I'd worn it for a business conference, and I just like accessorized it with a blue satin, and actually we have another picture of a jumpsuit that looks similar to that. But I feel like if it's all about the fit for jumpsuits, and if it looks good, it looks like really, really good, and if it doesn't, it kind of falls off. I'm not much for the like loose fitting jumpsuits. I feel when I wear a jumpsuit, it's formal. It's like kind of like a power outfit for me.
Like a power suit.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. It's like the modern version of a power suit is my take on the jumpsuit. Talking about the crop top. The crop top has gone through a big evolution, and in the 1930s, crop tops and midriff showing was really confined just to swimwear, and then because of the sexual revolution, it became more widely accepted in the 1960s, and the bohemian look of actresses and celebrities like Jane Birkin, tying their blouses in knots was also there, and DVF Spring 2014, they had a spring collection where they set a lot of different crop top looks down the runway, and this really made it an ultimate fashion trend for spring 2014. So for me, crop tops was not a very prominent part of my 2014 life experience. I don't know, when I saw crop tops, I was like, you had to have for me, my opinion of it at that time was you need to have the body for a crop top. And then when we had the like body positivity movement and people just wearing what they wanted because they wanted to, and then it shifted. It's like, oh, it's a confidence thing. Like now, to show your midriff is about, do you feel comfortable about like your body enough to do that?
For sure.
And it didn't take me until like I don't know, I have had crop tops, but 2019 I think was when I wore the crop top that you guys see, the white floral crop top, and ironically I was wearing it as a model for a 1980s runway show. So still not even in my everyday life did I wear crop tops, but we're getting to it.
For sure. And then the example that you guys will see for mine, I was wearing a mint green crop top, and honestly, it's taken me such a long time to like actually be like fully okay with like showing even just like the smallest bit of my stomach.
Right.
I was just like, okay, like we're doing this. But yeah, I love how like they can make you feel, and you can have them fitted or even a little bit loose, and I feel like sometimes the loose ones are a little bit more like flattering as well. So
mine was more of a loose top, so it makes sense.
Sure, yeah. And now we are going to segue into the cold shoulder trend. So it's kind of tricky to specify the origin or who made it popular or trendy. However, I just like to note that former First Lady of the United States, Hillary Clinton, was very much like well known for indulging in that trend back in 1993 when she had an interview with Lena Dunham. And also Hillary Clinton is just kind of known for her fashion statements over the years, so it's really interesting to kind of also have her be a part of that trend as well. And in regards to the example that you guys will be seeing of me wearing a cold shoulder blouse, so I bought that blue and white blouse when I was working for Reitman's at the time. And for me, like, I love wearing cold shoulders because it's still somewhat like covered up, even though you are seeing like a little bit of the shoulders. So it does give like a very easy going feel, and you can definitely dress them up, dress them down. And I feel like it's definitely one of those things that you wear a lot of the time in the summer. So, yeah.
That's funny. I think there. It's true. There is the flowy and the like spring light feel for cold shoulders, and then there's the like if it's tight fitting, then it's like when I see someone with a tight fitting cold shoulder, I think like edgy and sexy.
For sure.
And it's usually in black, right? And I don't have any pictures of me in that type of wear because I actually mine is very I cheated. It's not a cold shoulder, and to be honest, if you guys do this exercise and go back through your years and look through your fashion, I hope I'm not the only one who will see interesting patterns. And one of my patterns is I don't take a lot of pictures, and the ones I do take are not as clean and polished, for lack of a better word. But this one, I was going out. It's kind of, African inspired. I was going to an African party, and it's a kind of a, what do I call it? Not choker, but halter. There we go. Yes, it had a halter feel, and the only thing I'm missing to make that into a cold shoulder is sleeves. So I half got it. But cold shoulders, I think, was a trend. I do remember having a black shoulder top, and may it rest in peace wherever it is. But I'm glad I'm not. I don't wear cold shoulders as much anymore. So. Now, the next segment, or the next trend we're actually talking about here, are high-waisted jeans. High-waisted everything, actually. I think that the high-waisted jean first came into style when Levy produced jeans for women working on the land and in the factories for the war effort in the 1940s. But it came back, I'm sure it was around in the like 80s and 90s likely, but it became also popular around 2015 and with the skinny jean. So high-waisted skinny jean became an actual trend. Even the mom jean as well was a high-waisted situation too. So for me, with the high waist, I had two pictures of me with high-waisted jeans, and I think high-waisted jeans are flattering if they go up really up to your waist and they hug you where your ribcage ends. And I like the buttons, like the two lanes of buttons on the sides. I think that makes the high-waisted jean great, and it really is there to help elongate you.
For sure.
And if it's paired with a nice pair of heels, I think it's a whole look. So I still have high-waisted jeans.
Oh gosh, I absolutely love high-waisted jeans. All of my jeans that I wear now are honestly high-waisted, if I'm being honest. And with my photo, it is, I'm wearing a very high-waisted white pair of jeans, and I just paired it with like a long red cardigan and a black tank top in the middle. But yeah, no, like I absolutely love high-waisted jeans, and I think they accentuate your curves really well and kind of hug you in all of the right places. It definitely helps to kind of, give you a little bit more of a snatched waist, which is always a good thing if that's the kind of look that you're going for. But yeah, no, high-waisted jeans I feel like is one of those things that's never really going to go anywhere, so.
So athleisure wear is our last but not least. Athletic clothing really is not unique to this decade. Like the 70s had Ralph Lauren, polos and tennis shoes. The 80s had leg warmers. And Lululemon, though, sparked like a global fashion revolution. And like spandex, it included spandex into modern dress, and it blurred the lines between like yoga spin class attire to normal street clothes. And athleisure, especially in the late 2010s, like took over streetwear, workwear, travel wear, pretty much everything in between. And the world that we're living in now, it was like the foreshadowing of work from home, but in fashion. And I think that the height of it, though, was in 2016 when Beyonce launched Ivy Park. Like, it gave athleisure real celebrity cred because
For
everything
sure.
Beyonce does, right?
Yeah.
But for me, athleisure wasn't something I did until I started working from home. Like the last 6 months was a lot of a work from home situation, and I did not understand the leggings with pockets, like the leggings with pockets tribe until I was working from home. And my pictures, I was literally just like in my bathroom. One day I was working from home, I was feeling cute. I took a few pics and that was it. You know, there are not a lot of athleisure wear pictures on my phone, but they are constant in my life right now.
For sure. I'm kind of the same way in that sense. I'm still kind of like just about dabbling in the athleisure wear world because it's not really like my typical style. But in my photo, I'm wearing like mint green biker shorts, and then I just kind of like paired it with a cute little crop top, and I was just taking photos in the summertime. So for me, I love athleisure wear because it's kind of like that happy middle ground. It's like you want to look put together if you have like a quick meeting to go to, but then it's like, okay, like maybe you just have to run to the gym real quick or something and come back. And I like the fabric choices that they use for it as well because it's definitely flattering on you, and you can always pair like a nice blazer over it if you'd like to cover up, or you could kind of dress it however you'd like to. And I think you can definitely dress up like sweats and stuff like that, and I think that's another reason why I really love athleisure wear. It's like you're just taking something that's really comfy and cozy and kind of just like making it like beautiful and making it into like an actual statement piece rather than it just being something that you just like casually wearing at home. So
There you have it. We are all done with our trends. Um, kind of as a side topic, Leanna, what was your experience going through your photos and kind of looking back from, I don't know, as far back as you could go for photos? What was that like?
oh gosh, it's so funny because over the years, like my style has changed so much. And a big part of that definitely came from like body positivity and body confidence because I always used to like hide my curves a lot when I was younger, and I'd wear a lot of like oversized like shirts and stuff that was just always like long and covered everything. And now I find myself really embracing my body. So like wearing things like high waisted jeans and like wearing a crop top with it definitely kind of helped to like build my confidence. So it was really nice like going down memory lane and seeing that transition between like hiding my body versus like embracing it for what it is now, and kind of just like building that like confidence and stuff like that. So yeah.
Kind of on that same trend, I think that like going through memory lane for me, it was first of all, one thing that stayed the same as of color. I like color, and that has been a constant, right? But like the way I put myself together, and like I realized a lot of what I thought was like not great with me in the moment. Today I'm like, what were you talking about? Why were you feeling like that? It's so much different looking back. But also like much of what you said, one of my biggest takeaways from doing this was some of these like crop tops and stuff, or not just crop tops, some of the trends that you wear are based on the parts of you that are active. Like I started doing more athleisure wear because I was working from home. If I was going to school every day, or like going to school every day, or working outside of the home every day, athleisure wear would not be very relevant. And I used to think like, oh, I'm not someone who follows trends because I don't follow trends, but really a lot of the trends that were big, or so I thought, were just not part of my life, and that's okay.
Yeah,
So.
that part.
So thank you so much, Leanna, for coming over. It was really fun, and it's great
sure.
because I mean, us working together is already going back to when we first met, but going through this trend with you was awesome. So any last words for the people out there?
For sure. And I would just say, like embrace the skin that you're in and don't be afraid to try new things and new trends and who knows, you may end up enjoying it. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Question prompts. So, first question here, fashion defining moments in your life. When did your fashion change and how did it change? Do you have any pictures to show the change that you experienced? Two, is there anything that you used to do in your fashion that you would bring back? What part of your fashion has stayed the same? What parts are radically different? Three, why did you wear what you wore back in the day? Was it more because you cared what people thought of your clothing? Was it to keep up with the trends? Were you focused more on comfort, style, functionality? What were your reasons for wearing what you did? Number four, did you follow any fashion trends? Why or why not? Which ones did you follow? How many of our trends this segment or this release did you were a part of your wardrobe? And number five, what does your past fashion say about you? If you could describe your past fashion in a few words, what would you say? Thank you so much again, Leanna, for your time and for joining me here today. It was a lot of fun. And Leanna and I will actually have our answers to the question prompts on our Instagram, what the day of or the day after the release of the show. So look out for that. Our Instagrams are going to be in the description below. Also in the description will be the links and the references we used for some of the facts of the trends that we were talking about today. And actually one trend I was really entertained, one blog post I was reading was the CBC, did you partake in these 2010 trends? I would encourage you to go to that post, vote, and see. One of the biggest takeaways I had was I thought I was the only one or one of the few people who don't follow trends. But when you look through and see what trends you did and didn't follow, you'll also be able to figure out who else cared about those trends and who else followed them. So go to the description links below. And this release was our past fashions, the trends that made up the 2010s, and the trends or even the pictures of us throughout life that made up who we are today. And it's going to be a part of a 3-part series. This was our first looking into the past fashion. Next month will be present fashion, who we are right now, what our clothing is saying about us today, and then future fashion. Who are we stepping into being, and how does our fashion play into that, and what we wear, how does that play into it? So stay tuned and come back again in April for the Fashion and Beauty Show. My name is Anne, and I'm your host. Have a good one.